Welcome. We are going to be learning about the import libraries for Java today. So the first thing that we need to do is open up a new document in Java, Dr. Java, and we're going to start off by saying import, and we're going to import java.util.scanner. This statement tells a compiler that it can find the scanner class in the java.util package of the Java Standard Library. So when we take a look at this, this is the file that we're going to be using, and it is located in the file called Java, then the subfolder of util. Now I could have went in and I could have put an asterisk right here, which we know is a wildcard. Then the compiler would search the entire java.util package for the scanner class that it couldn't find elsewhere. Without import statements, you would have to use the fully qualified names of the library classes everywhere in your code. So instead of having this short code that we could do and not clutter up our code, we can just use this import and we can just reference to this, and we don't have to continuously type in the fully qualified name of each of the files that we need to find. So import is a great tool for us to import other classes into our program. The scanner class specifically is used to have the end user input information into the program, and then it can do some calculations to get a new output. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be using the scanner class, and we're going to be averaging 4 numbers that our end user is going to be inputting. So to get started here, the first thing that we need to do is to enter and create our class. So we're going to do public class, and we're going to call this average. We're going to start with our curly brace to open up our class, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to enter, and we're going to put in our main method. So public static void main string args. And then we want to open up our main method so that we can type into this. And to do this, we are going to start with scanner because this is our scanner class. Then we're going to give a variable a name, and I'm just going to call it scanner. And we're going to equal this to new scanner. And you could have actually named this whatever you would have liked to name it. So then we're going to do new scanner, so we're saying we're creating basically a new object within the scanner class so that we can use it, and this is going to be a system in. So this means that the end user is going to enter the information. Then we're going to end that with a semicolon. So then what we need to do is now we need to tell the user that they are to enter a number. So we're going to do system out print line quotation marks, and then we're going to type enter number. So this is basically telling the end user that they need to input a number. Now we're going to create a variable called a, and it's an integer a because they're inputting numbers, so we have to use an int. And we're going to equal this to our scanner.next int with empty parameters. So whatever number they input, it's going to enter into this and make it equal to a. Then I remember I said we're going to average 4 numbers, so now we need to do another system out print line, tell the end user again to enter a number. Sorry, that should be a semicolon up there. And now we're going to do int b equals scanner.next int. Now, I could speed up the process and just do a copy and paste here, and that would be a little bit faster. But I'm just going to go ahead and type these all out, and then we're going to enter another number. And now we're going to call this variable c. Scanner.next int. And now we're going to do our last system print out print line. And then we're going to call this one b. And this is going to equal scanner.next int. Okay, so after we have created our 4 variables and we've asked our end user to enter those numbers, now what we need to do is create another variable that's going to average those 4 numbers together and then divide them by 4. So we're going to do a double integer, so it's going to be a double, and we're going to call this average. And this is going to equal a plus b plus c plus d. And then we're going to divide that by 4. So that is going to be our statement and our calculation. Then we're going to enter, because now we're seeing where it's doing the calculation, but the end user cannot see what the number is going to be, and that's the purpose of creating this program. So we need to do another system out print line. And we're going to say the average of the number is space, and then we're going to do add, because this is, we're going to add 2 strings together here. So we're going to do our average. So we're going to have a string plus the variable. So we're going to put plus average, because that's the variable, that number we're looking for. And then we're going to do ending parentheses and a semicolon. Then we're going to close out the main method with an ending curly brace, and then we're going to close out the class with an ending curly brace. So we've come in and we've imported our scanner class, and then we've used our scanner class so that we could do a system in where we have the end user entering a number. So now let's go ahead and compile and just see if we did everything correctly. Well, we first have to save it, and we're going to save this as average, because remember, the class has to be the same name as the source. So we're going to do a save. And I forgot to capitalize the S in system. That needs to be capitalized. So we'll try to run our compiler again, and that corrected all the errors. And then it shows us down here that the compile is complete, and now we will run it. It will ask us to enter numbers, so just go ahead and pick some numbers that you would like to find the average of, and then it comes back and says the average of the number is 28. So that is how you import a class within another class, and it also gives you an example of how to use the scanner class. Good luck, and I hope you've enjoyed this video.